What's up, guys? Mad Fragger back again. I got another fragrance review video for you, and today is just going to be I just want to give you a really quick first impressions and what my initial opinion is on a couple rack store fragrances that I picked up yesterday at my local TJ Maxx. These are both $15 fragrances, so they're budget options, and I mean, like, when I say budget options, I mean that's about the lowest end of the budget that you go as far as fragrances. But I have found that there's times where you pick up one of these $15 fragrances and you get more than what you're paying for. And I feel like in this case, this one here is a little bit better than the price point for it. This is Monarch Red Tobacco Vanilla. And now I've seen this one pop up a few times. I've been aware of this, and when I seen it at my local TJ Maxx, I said I gotta grab it, check it out for myself, see what it's about. It's an eau de parfum concentration, a 100 ml bottle. Obviously, it's a clone of Mancera's Red Tobacco, which in and of itself is kind of a divisive fragrance. It's one of those that I think there's a lot of people that really love the DNA and a lot of people that don't care for it. I really do like Mancera's Red Tobacco. I've had a sample of it. I don't own that. It's a Mancera that I don't own, but I've sampled it before. I do like it. I do really love the DNA, especially for cooler weather. And this one actually does a pretty damn good job at this price point of, kind of touching on that DNA, that Mancera's Red Tobacco DNA. And it does seem to be, at least so far, like I say, I just picked these up yesterday. I haven't given these a full wear. I will come back and do a full comprehensive review on both of these going forward. But for the time being, I can tell you that just doing a test spray on my arm yesterday, kind of, left it there throughout the day, went back to it a couple times just to see what it was doing. And this one is actually really good. For the price point, this one is really good. I enjoy it, especially the dry down. It does open up on the initial spray. It does open up a little bit on the synthetic side. Doesn't open up super smooth, really. Leaves a little bit to be desired, I guess you could say, initially. But it dries down really, really nice. I was really surprised at how good this smelled drying down. And it does have decent projection, especially for... Now, the Milestone, this is a Monarch, but it's a Milestone, subsidiary. I believe that this company is part of the Milestone brand. And Milestone fragrances, for me, have kind of been hit or miss. They can be hit or miss. Some of them are not that great. Some of them are a little better than what you're paying. And I think this is one of the ones that's you're getting a little more than what you're paying for. For 15 bucks, this is a really good fragrance, especially for somebody that's just starting out their fragrance journey, that's just kind of starting to build a collection. This would be great. And yeah, you really can't beat it at this price point. It's a pretty good fragrance. You got a nice heavy metal cap on here, and a really nice atomizer. Not a pressurized atomizer, which, that's one thing that you'll notice, that a lot of these kind of, cheaper kind of rack store fragrances, you'll find that a lot of these have really good pressurized atomizers. But this does have a really good atomizer, although it's not, wouldn't say it's not a pressurized atomizer, but it is a really good one. And when you take into account the presentation is fairly decent for the price, the scent profile in this, it's a really good introductory tobacco fragrance, and it's kind of just what you're kind of getting, just what it tells you, like a sweet tobacco with some vanilla in there. And I'll get a little more into it in my full review, but on first initial impressions, this one is worth picking up, especially at the price point here. This is a pretty good one. I do like this, and I'm looking forward to giving this a full wear and seeing how it works out. Now, like I said, I don't have Mancera's Red Tobacco. What I do have is another alternative to Mancera's Red Tobacco, which is Armaf's Hunter Killer Bullet. Now, this one, in my opinion, is very exceptional, although it's not quite as much trying to be a one-to-one of Mancera's red tobacco. It's like the red tobacco DNA with a twist on it. And I really, really enjoy this one. It's got monster performance. It smells amazing. It's one of my favorites. I really like this. And this would be my choice. This one runs about 30 bucks. This would be my choice if you're looking for a Mancera red tobacco clone, but you're not you're not set with, trying to get a one-to-one. You just want something that's kind of emulating that DNA, but doing their own thing with it. This would be the way I would suggest that you go. But I do feel that this one here, the Monarch red tobacco, I think that this one is a little closer to, they're more or less just going right for the red tobacco DNA and like kind of just trying to get as close to it as they can and not really, doing too much of anything straying outside of that, if that makes any sense. This one, of course, it's not that close to Mancera's red tobacco as it pertains to quality or performance, but if you're talking about, being like close to trying to come as close to the fragrance and smell as close to the fragrance as you can, this one does come pretty close. From initial testing, I got about 6 hours of performance out of this, like as far as like where you're getting some projection out of it. Really decent projection the first couple hours, then it kind of dies down a little bit, but not exactly to a skin scent. And then after 6 hours, it's pretty much a skin scent. But really good for the price. Now, the second one that I picked up here yesterday was one that I've never seen before. The Monarch I've seen pop up here and there like a bunch of times. This one I've never ever seen before I saw it yesterday. And when I saw this, I knew immediately what what they were going for here. This is a clone of Dior Homme Intense. And it's if you know the fragrance DHI, then you know that it's got the kind of black straw that goes down the center of the bottle inside, and they're kind of trying to, emulate that here with this black line down the middle. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty immediately apparent that, and then I, did a test spray in the store and I said, yep, that's exactly what they're going for there. This is called Illusion Intense. It did not have a cap. Sometimes you pick these fragrances up from the rack stores, they don't have caps. This one didn't have a cap, but I've kind of looked it up and looked into it a little bit, and it is from the house of Privé. And if it did have a cap, on the top of the cap it says Privé. So I had to kind of look it up and look into it a little bit to figure it out, because like I said, I've never seen this or heard about this. Now, I just recently, I've been on the hunt for a good DHI clone for a little while. I got the Kaid Intense that, is a fairly decent DHI clone, but it kind of like, does things a little bit differently, like it's kind of a twist. And then recently I had picked up this one, which is a Kion Classic, Awatanya Kion Classic. And this one I felt was the best DHI clone that I've found so far. This one runs around like maybe 30, 35 bucks. And this one's a really good dupe of DHI. And so I figured, like I said, I love the DHI DNA, and I've kind of been on the hunt for a little while trying to find, good, I like to try to find a good DHI clone. And anytime I find a fragrance that's emulating or trying to, clone DHI, I'll give it a shot because, I like the DNA. And so I figured it's obviously trying to clone DHI. On the test spray in the store, I could tell that that's where it was going. And so I picked this one up as well, $15. This one's also an eau de parfum concentration. And this one, if you like the that lipsticky kind of almost Play-Doh feel that you get out of Dior Homme Intense, that makeup bag kind of lipsticky iris, this one is doing that. You're getting that. Is it the same quality as you would get with DHI? Of course not. Is it the same quality as the Kion Classic? No, but let me say this. For $15 rack store cologne, this is pretty good. Like, I've only done an initial spray and an initial test on my hand kind of thing. So I haven't given it like a wear or anything. So the jury's kind of still out on it. But I'm cautiously optimistic that this one is going to end up being pretty good rack store clone of Dior Homme Intense. Now, it does have, if you know fragrances and you've smelled some kind of higher end, more quality designer and niche fragrances, you will notice that there is kind of a like a quality difference, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, this thing's not going to fool you into thinking like, this is not going to be the best DHI clone, I don't think, that you're going to find. But within a budget, especially if you're, talking about $15, this thing's doing it pretty good. I got to be honest with you. It does have a pressurized atomizer, really good pressurized atomizer. And yeah, in the air, the very first thing that you get is just that really kind of creamy, lipstick, makeup bag kind of iris note, and you get that right away. Like, it makes it apparent immediately. That iris comes out immediately and lets you know that that's what they're going after. Now, on the dry down on this one, it did seem like it was gonna stick around and gonna perform pretty decent off the test spray on the hand. It seemed like it stuck around for a good 6 hours or so. Now, in my opinion, a fragrance like DHI is not one that's meant to catch attention, like draw attention, like kind of stick out and like get recognized, get noticed. Like, it's not that kind of DNA. It's more of a subtle, draw you in kind of DNA, as opposed to, as the one we were talking about before, like Mancera's Red Tobacco is kind of like a punch you right in the face, like notice me kind of fragrance. And this one is got that kind of intensity and punch to it. Believe it or not, it does have some good intensity and it projects really well. Now, this one, although you do get some projection, I was getting some decent projection. Now, granted, this is only off a test spray, but I was getting okay projection out of it. But you can tell that it's more of a subtle, more of a less obvious kind of fragrance. Like, this would be something really, really good, I think, for like the office, or like if you are, going to be like, say you going out to dinner with your family or something, and you don't want something really strong or really overpowering, but something that if people get close enough to you that you're going to smell pleasant. And if you like the DNA of DHI and you like that kind of a really nice kind of iris forward DNA, you're definitely going to get that here. It's got a little bit of a kind of a freshness to it. It's carrying kind of a freshness with it, and then at the same time, it's got like a kind of a richness as well. And just again, on initial test spray and first impression, this might not be a. I'm not going to go so far as to say like this is a hidden gem, and if you're looking for a DHI clone, that here you go, buy this, grab this, find this, get this. But if you're in the rack store and you see this, I'm letting you know, yeah, it's doing a pretty good job of cloning DHI here for the $15 price tag. And after I give this some further tests and you give it a full wear, I'll come back and do a full video and hit you with the notes and hit you with what I'm getting from it on a more complex basis. But first impressions, I think this is going to be a pretty decent one as far as a $15 dupe goes. This seems like it's going to be a really good one, guys. So that's going to do it for this video. I just kind of wanted to give you like just an introduction to my first impressions on these two. Stay tuned for a more comprehensive review. I'm going to give both of these a good wear. It is fall here in Ohio, and the weather's starting to get cooler. Even though, here in Ohio, it's like it may be 40 degrees in the evening and 80 degrees in the afternoon. That's the kind of weather we've had the last few days. So um, sometimes it's hard to really like pick a fragrance because like you want to wear something great for cool weather, but then by the time the afternoon comes, it's like blazing hot. But that's where I think, and I've said this before on the channel, that's where I think that a fragrance that doesn't, have like all day performance, 10-hour performance, these, can really come in handy. Like for instance, you put this thing on in the morning, and haven't done a full wear of it yet, but off the test wear, I'm pretty sure this is going to give you a good 6 or 7 hours of performance. You put this on in the morning, wear it for a while, maybe later in the day, you go to something different. I mean, you go ahead and maybe put on something a little lighter or a little more versatile. But yeah, like first impressions on these two. Does this smell like red tobacco? Yes. Does it seem like it's going to be a decent performer? Yeah. For the price tag, sure. Same thing here. Does it smell like DHI? It does. Especially if that lipsticky makeup bag type of scent profile is what you enjoy out of DHI. This one's doing that. And it seems like, it's going to give you that kind of put you in that 6-hour performance range. And yeah, I'll be back to do a full review on each of these individually. But just wanted to let you know my first thoughts and impressions on these guys. And if you see these when you're out at the rack store, if you see these, they are both worth picking up and checking out. So I'm the Mad Fragger. Thanks again for joining me for this video. I'll see you next time.